Say Wednesday. Tuesday, on this beautiful Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, baby. Sometimes when you're working hard, you lose track of time. Boy, so hot in here. Went got me a whole slushy at the truck stop. First time ever having one of these. I usually don't get no slushy drinks. Had to try one today though. Hot as it is, but it's all good though. Got a question from a subscriber. He want to know the gross versus the expenses. Now I don't know if he meant for my company or just in general. So I'm gonna assume in general, but only thing I can do is talk about my company. I ain't got too much time on this live feed though. Like I said, we in the middle of getting money. Anytime you see me in the classic, we's getting money, okay? So roll this window. Hopefully it ain't too noisy. So gross versus expenses. Okay, so when I used to lease a truck back in the day, back in 2016, when I used to lease a truck and I didn't know any better, I used to think that the only difference between me being a lease driver versus an owner-operator, somebody that own a truck, I just thought the difference was I got a truck note and they don't. I figured, I got this brand new 2016 ProStar that I had at the time, and buddy over there got the old truck that's paid off. Well, the only difference is, I got to pay my little $695 a week, and he don't. But other than $600, there's really no difference between us. That's what I thought back in 2016. But now that I done got a lot more time in trucking and became a motor carrier, what I'm actually seeing is when you're a lease driver, don't matter what type of lease you in, don't matter if you're doing good or bad, it does appear that the only expenses between you and a cash truck driver is just that truck payment. It appears that way, and in most cases that's going to be true. In most cases it's going to be true if you're comparing yourself to you, the lease driver, versus an owner-operator at the exact same company as you. Let's say you got a truck payment and the guy beside you paid his truck off. Yeah, more than likely the only difference between y'all two is just that truck payment, and obviously you're not going to care because $600 ain't no money you really missing. But when you get to the motor carrier side, well, it's a massive difference. The difference is not only just the truck note, but it's the amount the truck can gross. For example, I put up my numbers. For example, as long as I work the silo, I can gross $14,000. Well, a lease driver, I don't know where they're gonna go unless they're doing heavy haul or something. They can never gross $14,000. Like I said, unless they're doing heavy haul or some type of super specialized division that we don't know about, they can gross $14,000. However, lease drivers, the truck. I gotta take that phone call. Give me a second. Calling. Need to move over to the rendezvous spot, baby. Just a second. I gotta move my truck right quick, baby. That's the Charlie calling. We're gonna continue the conversation. Just give me a second. me try to get like 54,000. If it can fit 54, just fill it up to the brim. Where we at on this conversation? 14,000 gross. That's where we at. 14,000 on the gross. So for a motor carrier, you can get 14,000 gross a couple of ways. You can get off DAT load board just doing regular driving. You're gonna run a lot of miles, you're gonna be cheating the clock, but it can be done. Or you can get your own shippers and do it that way and negotiate your prices depending on what trailer you got. But the expenses part just depends on your operation. So I'll talk about my expenses, and then I'll talk about maybe expenses I had in the past. So for me, let's say I gross $10,000, okay? So you gross 10. Well, for me, my only expense is fuel. And it's whatever I pump at the fuel. Me, I don't pay no attention to it because my gross is usually so high that it doesn't matter how much fuel I pump. But let's just say on $10,000 gross, I pumped $2,000 worth of fuel in, okay? We at 8,000 net profit, okay? Now, out of that 10,000 gross, of course, you got to pay the factory 3% of that, which is just a small fee. Whatever 3% is, $300, I guess. But you at 8,000, take away your little 3%. That's what you're pretty much gonna be left over with. Now, out of that that's left over, you just got maintenance. Got maintenance, and you know, if you want to pay your insurance for the month, because insurance is paid monthly when you're a motor carrier, versus, you know, when you lease stone to somebody, it's paid weekly. So in this particular example, I won't take out any insurance, because it's usually, I don't pay insurance until the end of the month anyway. So, you know, whatever's left over, $7,700, that's going in your pocket unless you want to do some maintenance. So like, for example, this week, I didn't do no maintenance. Can I do some maintenance? Sure, I could do some maintenance. I could go and, I don't know, go get an oil change from the truck stop, go to Blue Beacon. I could go buy some parts. I can go buy a tire. If I want to go get the AC fits, I can go get the AC fits. But all of those are choices that you choose to do whenever you feel like doing maintenance. You know, it's not something that's mandatory. It's not something you got to do. It's not something that if you don't do it, the truck just ain't gonna work no more or start up anymore. Those are all just optional choices. Okay, something that will be mandatory is, let's say, for example, with my flat top, you know, I was driving and the belt broke. Okay, well, that's something you're gonna have to fix right there and now. Ain't gonna be no fix it later or anything like that, because the truck ain't gonna work. Okay, so that's a mandatory fix. That's when you're gonna have to, you know, go find the part from the dealership, Freightliner, go get the part, call the mobile mechanic up, pay him whatever he gonna charge, as long as it's reasonable. And you should be all right. Okay, now with $7,700, you got plenty of money to afford all the parts that you're gonna basically need on the road that's gonna go bad. Like, for example, my belt on the flat top, like I just explained, went bad. Well, a belt is probably like $30. Okay, so it's not gonna hurt your pockets when you got $7,700 for the week as net profit. So you buy the belt, and then when it comes to mobile mechanics, a lot of people think that, you know, you call a mobile mechanic and you just pay them whatever they feel like they worth. But that's actually not the case. See, when you're a cash truck driver, you don't just pay people any goddamn thing. What you do is, first of all, you got to find these people anyway. So you get on Google Maps, you type in diesel mobile mechanic, Hey, just call all of them and tell them, hey, this is my problem. My belt came off. How much are you gonna charge me to come out here and do it? And you'll get a bunch of different prices. And usually I just pick the lowest guy. So one guy may say, hey, I want $500. Next guy, $400. Next guy, man, where you at? Well, it ain't nothing but 10 miles from it, man. Give me $200. All right, there. For $200, come on over here and do it. So $7,700. Take his $200 out. That's $7,500, okay? You don't just go on Google Maps, type in diesel mechanic, call the first guy. Where you at? Oh, it's the bill. Oh, it sound like to me that if you don't pay me $2,000, your truck, it ain't never gonna run again. It's nonsense. So, you know, somebody like that, they'll get hung up on. Probably get a 1-star review on Google Maps. Not calling them ever again, you know? So, then of course you got TA. You can always call TA and get ripped off. That's always an option. So you got mandatory expenses and you got optional expenses. One thing I know in this side of trucking is it's gonna be about 99% optional expenses, 1% mandatory. Okay, for me, my mandatory, well, I'm gonna have to do it on a larger scale because it's not that many. So from 2018 to now, my mandatory breakdowns or expenses was on the flat top, of course, the engine blew. That was a mandatory fix, costing me $8,500 to get the truck back up and running. Then I had the transmission blow. That was $5,500, $3,500 for the transmission, $1,500 for the labor. I had the clutch blow. That was $800 plus another $1,000 for labor. So those was mandatory. That was it. Everything else optional. Tires, brakes, lights, starter, alternator, batteries. You know, the usual that everybody else got, whether they got brand new trucks or older trucks. On this classic right here, well, when I first got it, we had mandatory breakdown. The engine, not the engine, the transmission blew. He had to get a tow truck. Tow truck was about $400-500. He had to tow it from the off-ramp over to what used to be my mechanic, not no more. Transmission, we had to get a transmission, went on to replace the clutch. Why did we replace the clutch? Because they got to drop the transmission, might as well replace the clutch too. So, go ahead and replace it. Obviously, there is a misconception between, people that's not so experienced in trucking. Some people believe that these type of breakdowns is something that you're gonna have every year. They think that you're gonna blow your engine every year. They think that you're gonna blow a transmission every year. They think that you're gonna blow a clutch every year. But what people don't realize is that transmissions, for example, they don't blow. A brand new transmission is not gonna blow unless you just not every year, unless you just ran out of oil. You don't put no oil in it, well, yeah, it will be blowing every year. If you don't put no oil in the engine, yeah, you're gonna be blowing the engine every year. That's about the only way. You got to force it to blow. So, but no, engines don't blow every year after you get a brand new one or you get it rebuilt. That's not how. They would be out of business if that was the case. The manufacturer would never make any money if they built engines that blew every year. No truck driver out here would ever be in trucking if, every 365 days, you don't know, well, hey man, I'm getting close to 365 days. Let me get closer to the house because the engine finna blow. It's just not how parts and trucking and mechanics work. So, like I said, we had the transmission in blue, and then we had a clogged filter on the transmission. That was another mandatory fix because put us on the side of the road with another $400 tow truck bill. That was up there in Pennsylvania. So, then after that, we had this issue, the shifter. The shifter, that was mandatory, in which we had to drive it over the Freightliner. That was $1,600. But other than that, that's the only mandatory things with this. So Now that was from 2018 to 2023, so I don't want y'all to think I did all that in 1 year. It's not the case. So when you add up all the numbers, come out to about 30 to about, let's just say $30,000 to $50,000 between 2018 to 2023, and that's cash too. Sound, hey Andrew, that's a lot of money. I don't have $30,000 to $50,000. Okay, now let's look at the gross. Okay, now the gross is over $1 million, unfortunately. Oh my God, here we go with this shit. Here we go. I'm talking about from 2018 to 2023. Okay, so we got about 50,000. Let's just say $50,000 worth of expenses. We got about over $1 million worth of growth. I mean, not growth, goddamn gross. So, you know, what people don't realize with me driving older trucks, people never ask, hey Andrew, man, how do you afford to get the truck towed? How do you afford to fix the transmission? How do you afford to fix the engine? How do you afford all the tires? How do you afford oil changes? How do you afford to call a mobile mechanic? And you know, I would say that, you know, well, you know, the freight that I haul actually pays money in my pocket and it's very affordable. And by the way, that's like my only deductions is just fuel and just these repairs, and that's it, you know. But people don't want to hear me though. So they don't want to hear me, and that's totally fine. So in the beginning with this Freightliner Classic, yeah, we had some repairs in the beginning. You know, a lot of people thought, hey man, you know, that truck ain't gonna last. That's what they thought. But you hop on an account like I'm on now with the silo, get all your money back and then something. You get your money back fairly fast. It's like a full refund with the quickness. And then once you get your full refund back, you're like, oh, well, you know, paying for that transmission is going to last another 10 years. That wasn't so bad of an investment because you got all your money back with the quickness. And then it's like, well, I got a new transmission, new clutch. We got a 12.7 engine. We don't know any type of history on it. Now it's how long can I go? How much money can I rake in before the next big breakdown? We don't know what the next big breakdown is. No idea. We don't know if it's more than likely it's not going to be a transmission or clutch. Probably going to be something engine related. But it's the guessing game. The problem is, you know, how much money can you rake in before something happens? Can you go 30 days? Can you go a year? Can you go 4 years? So, the reason why I say you don't know how long you're going to go is because with the flat top, we rebuilt the engine back in 2020, okay? I done drove that truck all the way to 2023 with no more major breakdowns after that. So, it's like, okay, well, I done racked in all the money. I'm still waiting for that truck to break down. It hasn't broke down yet, and I don't even know what on that truck is gonna break down next. I don't know if the engine gonna break. Is the clutch gonna go out? Is the transmission gonna go out? I don't know. I'm riding until something happens. It may be another 5 years before we find out, you know, but it got to the point that, well, okay, well, the truck made so much money and I done bought other trucks, so that truck is kind of par, so you know, obviously it's not going to break down this year, so we're going to have to wait the next year. And it's like, well, Andrew, are you going to hop back in the flat top? At this point, I don't even know, man. It could just be sitting right there collecting dust for display. It did what it needed to do. The only difference now is, now as we rake in the money, we aren't looking to buy, you know, other trucks or anything trucking related. Now we just keep all the money in our pocket, and you know, when house prices come down, we want to be at the table with all the cash up front. You know, 300,000, 350,000. Make sure it's got 2 floors to the house, 2-acre property. You know, we want to be the guys just sitting all the cash. Hey, are you drug dealer? No, we don't do no drug dealer. We just drive old trucks, baby. We drive old, raggedy, Old raggedy trucks, baby. All this money you see on this table that I just got from the bank, it's all old raggedy money right here. So that's all. That's all. But yeah, I enjoy this classic now. The only thing this class don't got right now is some AC. That's it right there. Well, technically it do got AC if I want to turn it on, but other than that, well, so how long can we just go? You know? Some of you guys was asking, you say, Andrew, man, when you a new carrier, how do you avoid inspections with an older truck? It's like no matter how many times I tell you guys just ain't listening whatsoever. When you get to the scale house, okay, how do you pass an inspection? They only looking for, once again, you got good tread though, okay? They give you a specific number too. It's just gotta be as long as your tires is above 4:32 seconds, then you're gonna pass the tires, okay? Does your air horn work? Does all the lights on the truck work? They gonna make you turn your left blinker on, the right blinker, the flashes, the reverse light. Do you got windshield fluid? Does the windshield wipers properly work? It's just the most basic shit of it. It's the same thing as a new truck. None of the rules has changed. So when you're going through this test and you sitting over there sweating, wondering if you're gonna pass, you don't have to be at the scale house sweating. You could be at the house doing the exact same thing. Okay, does this work? Does that work? Okay, if the light don't work, then okay, let's look at the wire. Let's get it fixed. Okay, if the windshield wipers don't work, baby, get them fixed. You don't gotta wait till you get to the scale to do this. Okay, but I've been trucking 9 years, so you would think other people like me that's been trucking as long as me would know this, but they don't know this, unfortunately. I don't understand why. No, I don't know why. Seems like everybody should know this, you know? Seems like everybody should know this. I don't know what you guys think they looking for at the scale house. I mean, if they not looking for what I just named, you must think they looking for, like, you know, do you got oil in your transmission? Do you got oil in the engine? If you don't got no oil in the transmission, then you're out of service. Is that what y'all think? Y'all think they finna get the creeper and go underneath the truck and check to see if you got oil in the transmission or oil in the differential, or they're gonna make you pop the hood and they're gonna check to see if the dipstick is up to the full mark, or do you got a start on the truck? Is that what y'all think? Oh, I know. You think they're gonna take an air pressure gun and go and see if your tires is above 80 psi? That's what you think, huh? That's what you think they finna go out there and take the time to check out the air pressure in each tire, huh? That's what you think they're doing at the scale house? I hear what you're saying, drivers. I hear what you're saying. You know, in most cases at the scale house, they don't even give a fuck about your vehicle. And mostly just want to see your driver license, their medical card, and that goddamn logbook. That's what they mostly want to see. Yeah, if you start fucking up on that, that's when they start expanding over to that vehicle over there. So, you know. Well, Andrew, how do I make sure my logbook is correct? Got to be the most easiest thing to do in trucking. It's even more easier with 1997 since it's ELD exempt, simply because I don't have to have the shoe shine device hooked up to my ECM. ELD exempt, baby. What does that mean, Andrew? That means as long as I got goddamn one of these pins, the lease drivers, y'all should know about a pen. As long as I got a pen and that goddamn paper logbook, baby, so disrespectful. So sad. Anyways, how do you find a good mechanic to do a full rebuild? Well, if you don't already know a mechanic, best thing to do, you got to go find one. Go conduct some interviews. You know, that you don't know if it's a good mechanic, you know, just start talking to one. They'll let you know. They'll tell you all about your engine. You know, you got to go interview a mechanic. You got to go talk to him. I'm personally going to go interview a mechanic. It's a mechanic shop 3 minutes from my house. 3 minutes from the house. Matter of fact, for the people over in Nashville, it's the mechanic right there by Skyline Hospital. Bike way. Dude is 30 seconds from Skyline Hospital. Never even noticed the guy. Shop slam packed. Got to go over there and conduct the interview. See what's going on. What's his rates? What he talking about? You know. So. Now, I don't go too far to where I have to, you know, cheat logbooks and things like that. We just charge enough money because we don't like to run miles. You know, we're not out here going 1,000 miles or going from one side of the country to the other. We don't do any, we barely do any miles whatsoever in a day. You know, we all local drivers, so we're not out here just putting down miles and got to go across 30 scale houses. So, you know, our logbooks is, you know, it's going to always be accurate. We ain't doing nothing but going like 100 miles down the road and back. You put me in the right direction of a good mechanic. Sounds like great ROI. I recommend any secret shops in Memphis and Nashville area. Yeah, I don't got no shops in Nashville. Like I said, I'm finna go up there and talk to the guy over there at Skyline Hospital. I don't know if he no great mechanic though. I'll just go over there and find out. Dominique in the building. When you do your insurance, what do you mark the value of your equipment? Whatever it's worth. Everybody's truck gonna be different. If you got some type of loan or it's a lease truck or it's finance, you know, I mean, whatever the value that they tell you your truck is, that's what the value is. You know, my truck value is, when I crash this truck and roll over, how much is the insurance company gonna cut me a check for? So, with this classic right here, okay, whatever I think they're gonna cut me a check for, that's what I value it at. Okay, man, I know some tricks of the trade with insurance to make sure that they cut me my check. For example, I know they're gonna go and see how much other Freightliner class it's worth, and I know exactly how they're gonna go get their data. Therefore, I know exactly how much they're gonna cut my check for, and they're gonna cut the check more than what I bought it for. That's for sure. Because I'm not gonna tell them what I bought the truck for, just like I don't tell you guys what I bought the truck for. But they will be cutting me a check. But the problem is, my bad, y'all. Sometimes it get real in the field. Sometimes it get real in the field. Gotta put y'all in the refrigerator for a second. Phone froze. Y'all still alive in there, man. Y'all know how these phones are, man. They get to freezing up and shit. Y'all overheated. Just give it a couple of minutes, man. It's dropping the temperature. God damn, cold air. Put y'all in the freezer or something. Gotta slide y'all ass off in there. Hold on. Might be cold in there. It's alright. I can do it. Wait a minute. Hold on. There you go. Y'all still alive in here. Don't go much better now. Y'all cool down. I know it's hot out there. I know it's hot out there. I know what's going on out there. Them temperatures crazy. Phone screaming for help, baby. Hell, what's going on out there, baby? Got y'all in the beautiful AC now. Y'all don't know I got AC up here. Look at this right. You see this right here? Look at that right there, baby. Beautiful AC blowing. Look at that. Ice cold, baby. Ice cold. Look at that. That thing out the window up there. Yeah, come on, quit playing with me. Quit playing with me, baby. You thought I was in here dying, didn't you? You know, I just turned this motherfucker on, baby. 100 degrees, go straight down to 50 degrees. Couple of minutes, baby. But I'm cheap than a motherfucker, boy. All the money I done made, we still ain't got AC in this some bitch. This is so sad. Oh, that money, all that money hitting the bank account, boy. I be like, man, should I go spend a little bit of it? Hell no. Hell no. I heard what the lease driver said. They can't spend no money. They got to be tight. Damn right, we tight than my boy. We've been tight. We've been tight since I came on YouTube. Shoot, I'm OG tight pockets. Keep these pockets tight around here, baby. No money gone nowhere, baby. That's why when I come across a deal, I'm able to pull out the cash and go bad, and you can't, because I'm OG tight pockets and you OG loose pockets, baby. All your money gone. Okay, so we tight around here. We are very, very tight around here. We know where every dollar go, baby. We know where every dollar go around here. Don't no money come up missing around here. Hell is you talking about? Got a whole tripod stand right here. I ain't even never used it. Gotta try that out one day, man. All I got up here. But it's a lot of space up in here, y'all. I never even let down this bunk right here either. I don't even know what's on top of it. Never let down a bunk. It's all good, though. Now, what was we talking about? Yeah, trucking tough right now. Tell them we ain't spending no money. I know better. Shoot. I know way better. Ain't spending no money whatsoever. Unless we come across a deal. Say, Andrew, what's the deal? A goddamn W900 going for free. Shit, sound like a deal to me, baby. Sound like a deal to me. Goddamn AC blowing ice cold, baby. Drop the temperature quick in here. Woo, damn it, boy. Need that. See what we're talking about. Go spend a little money, Andrew, buy that Corvette you always want. Every time I try to talk about the Corvette, Justin Lewis tell me it's not a good idea. And the Corvette's starting to come down in value, baby. They was going for $50,000, $55,000. Actually, they still holding value, so yeah. But I figure at 50-something thousand, man, I might as well just gonna pay the 80 and get the C8. So. Take a Jaeger in the building. Insurance is like $20K a year. How did you find a lower insurance price? 20K sound reasonable. Everybody ain't gonna be able to get cheap insurance. You know, I'm still going back and forth trying to get insurance for $5,000 right now. You know, I'm in the field of insurance, so the prices I pay is gonna always be different than most people. You know, I know the ins and outs. I know the policies. You know, I'm an insurance agent, so you know, a little bit different. And I'm not saying people can get cheap policies. It's just, you know, this is part of how I stay in business. Running the absolute cheapest operation ever heard of in trucking. You know, I'm just trying to get it to where, you know, everything is so cheap. Get everything cheap, make it look like we ain't making no money whatsoever. Everybody laughing at us. And then, you know, when trucking turn around, if it ever turn around, boom, all of a sudden, well, damn, how did he get that? How did he get that? Well, how did he get, well, remember when trucking was down, right? Well, I made sure that everybody else knew trucking was down. You see, you know, I don't go to the insurance company and tell them that, hey, the freight that I haul is $10 a mile. I don't do that. I tell them how bad it is, just like y'all. I say, man, it ain't no freight out here. It ain't no money out here. We haul grass. They only pay us 30 cents a load. I tell them everything. Hey, the truck out there is $250,000. I got to pay $3,000 a month for that big ass truck out there. Well, man, did nobody tell you to get that expensive truck? Look, Mr. Charlie, don't do that, Mr. Charlie. You know, in order to survive out here trucking, you gotta have a new truck. If I go get an old raggedy truck, that thing be broke down on the side of the road. I'm gonna need a tow every day. Come on, Mr. Charlie, I got to get a new truck. And you know, I got no new trucks, 250,000. You know, inflation. Have you called, Mr. Charlie? Have you went to Freightliner and asked how much trucks cost? You haven't, I know. So I'm telling you, about $250,000, baby. Okay, so yeah. I made sure I implement all that in my sales tactics. Make sure Mr. Charlie do all that. Okay, so that's why I like talking to truck drivers, because you know, gotta understand, I'm not leased on to the carriers that they leased on, so. You know, I'm not able to see, you know, like when they get their settlement, all the just charges that companies come up with. You know, I don't get to see that. So well, that's why when I see somebody's settlement, I'm like, damn, what the hell is this? It's never even heard of such a thing. And, you know, the escrow accounts where they just, you lease on, they take $2,000 in escrow, and when you quit, you ain't getting your money back. We need to implement that over here, where I just charge everybody a gob of money, call it escrow, and just keep it in my pocket. I ain't gonna do no stupid shit like that. But I got to know what people, what they pay. Weekly IFTA notes and ELD fees and pre-pass fees, and I don't know, man. But all I know over here, the only thing we pay, fuel and maintenance. Well, Andrew, what about the ELD device? We don't pay for an ELD device. We don't pay subscriptions. We don't pay fees. We don't donate no monthly nothing to no ELD provider whatsoever. Okay? Free, we ain't paying for it. Okay? We don't owe nobody nothing. Okay? We ain't paying motive. We ain't paying no goddamn Samsara. We ain't paying none of that monthly fees. We don't want no ELD. What do you call it? Easy pass, or go around the wait station pass for monthly fees, and we don't need none of that. We don't want no toll passes. We ain't trying to pay none of that toll service. Well, nothing. Okay? We keep all that money in our pocket, baby. So, but a lot of people leased on the carriers, they forced to pay those different charges, whatever the carrier want to charge them. Oh, I talked to Lottie Dottie yesterday. Called me for the first time. I ain't talked to Lottie Dottie in almost 2 months. Say about 2 months. Lottie Dottie finally called me. I said, yep. As soon as the phone rung, I said, yep. Must be out there lease program. Come on, Lottie Dottie. Come on now. Come on now. I'm listening. Lottie Dottie on the phone. Tell me what's going on. He said, man, I'm back at the house, man. You still on that account in the secret location? I said, here now sometimes. He said, oh, well, I'm at the house now. I said, you don't say it. You don't say it. He said, so what happened to the last company? What you think happened, Andrew? I know. Let me guess, Larry. The same thing I told you was going to happen is what happened. Of course, Andrew, of course. They got tough on him, man. They got tough on Lottie Dottie, man. They told Lottie Dottie he couldn't idle the truck no more. And in the summertime, they say, yeah, man, at nighttime they don't want them, they drivers to idle the truck no more because they ain't, the trucks don't make any money. A lot of these people out here just spinning their goddamn wheels. And the trucks that Lottie Dottie drive, they brand new trucks and they don't have APUs on them. So, he said the owner called him, the owner of the trucking company called him 9 o'clock at night. It was like 60 degrees outside, some shit. He was idling the truck. And he asked him, hey, man, he said, hey, I'm looking at the computer or whatever the fuck they look at to tell that you idle the truck. He said, hey, man, I see you idle the truck, man. I thought we told you not to idle no more. You the only one in the fleet still idling. Lottie Dottie trying to explain that, hey, man, I sleep with the AC on, man. I ain't got no APU. And he like, all right, look, we're going to have a driver come pick up the truck. Just pack all your shit and get the fuck on. So that's what Lottie Dottie did. Lottie Dottie packed his shit, got the fuck on. Said, this is so sad the way these suit tie guys are doing y'all out here in this trucking world. So sad. I said, damn, my truck every day, baby. All my trucks. Yeah, all my trucks. We don't turn nothing off around here, baby. I tried to turn my truck off one time. For the first time, I tried to turn my goddamn truck off because I was running this beautiful AC device right here. And when I woke up, the batteries was dead. And TA came out doing the Birdman hand rub, okay? So we ain't gonna do that again. We're gonna keep idling and blowing this beautiful AC device right here, okay? So, yeah, right now it's nice and cold, okay? So, shit. I don't run my... See, that's the problem with me. People like, Andrew, man, why you ain't just out here getting it on DAT load board, running, because, if we ain't running for a profit, we running to just pay bills or something. I don't drive a truck to just pay bills. That don't even make any sense to me, man. We need to be running for top dollar, baby, top dollar. In order to stay comfortable in the truck, we can't just run for $1 a mile or $2 a mile. That don't work. That's just enough, that's just enough to fuck to do nothing. It's enough to do nothing. We can't do that. We can't grow like that. We in business to grow. Shit, if we just want to pay bills, baby, we might as well just go lease on to a company. Go be a company driver. We pay a lot of bills as a company driver. We just want to pay bills. How do you find a good mobile mechanic? A good one? I have no idea. You got to call a bunch of them and use one of them at a time. See which one you like the best. But how do you find one? You just go on Google Maps, type in diesel mobile mechanic. They'll pop up. Just gotta try them out, see which one best. Like, for example, the mobile mechanic over in Nashville, how I found him, I just typed in diesel mobile mechanic, and sure enough, Zimbabwe showed up. He was dirt cheap for me. So how I found him, Google Maps, I just Googled diesel mechanic, and sure enough, boom, Zimbabwe showed up. So didn't need to call no mobile mechanic after him. Got the best one the first time. So he all I use right there. That's all I use right there. When I need them, but I barely be needing them. So, Let's see what we talking about. I just skipped some of the comments. Antonio in the building. Asked him if he changed the oil. Antonio said, I'm so glad I'm done with my lease program. Now I'm making $17,500 a month. That's pretty damn good right there. Man, I heard about the flatbed side of y'all lower board over there, Antonio. You ever thought about doing flatbed over there? Planning on hiring more drivers? If so, how many years of experience? Yeah, I hired drivers and we got some freight that makes sense. As far as years of experience, I may not have an age. I may just take anybody that's 6 months to do it, depending on what we're doing. I said my 2000 Volvo was worth $8K, still got hit for $14K with Progressive. Yeah, $14K is pretty good. How do you feel about mobile mechanics, good or bad? That's all I use is mobile mechanics. Yeah, that's all I use. For the last, oh man, for the longest, I just only use mobile mechanics. The only time I go to the shop is if we need to change out a major component like a transmission or rebuild the engine. Other than that, mobile mechanics is the only thing that work on my truck. I used to get mobile mechanics for real cheap. You know, when I was, like for example, when I was leased on to companies in the oil field, I used to pay mobile mechanics like $20 an hour. You know, I would just, so, let me give y'all an example, okay? Most new drivers in trucking, at least a truck, they don't believe that trucks break down. They think that they're just gonna run and no maintenance, no breakdown whatsoever. However, the suit tag guys that own those brand new trucks, which is usually the carrier that they at, they actually think that these trucks do break down. So what suit tag guys do, they build terminals with shops. Okay, so when you go to your terminal more than likely got a shop there. Why is the shop there? Because the suit tag guys absolutely know that these trucks are gonna break down and they need maintenance. You may not know, being a driver of a brand new truck, that trucks need maintenance and repairs, but the suit tag guys that's got their name on the title of that vehicle you're driving, they do know, which is why when they built their terminal, they built the goddamn shop at the terminal and they hired these workers at $20 an hour or $25 an hour. Anyway, so the shops, when I was leased on these carriers, they closed at 5 p.m. Well, after 5 p.m., you could pay these shop guys in there to come do work in the parking lot, or maybe you might have to go down the street, get some work done. So when I hit a flat top, I just, paid them off the table now, because they paychecks ain't that much money. $200-300, get a whole bunch of stuff done right quick. So try that, get out of try, because a lot of y'all leased on the carriers, if you can't find a mechanic, go to your terminal and just talk to the people in the shop. Be like, hey man, I need, more than likely you need basic work done anyway. So hey man, go there. Hey, can you fix my lights? Can you change out some airbags? Change my oil, change in the parking lot. We can go down the street about 2 buildings. See where we at. Tell him about the mobile technician you encountered. Mobile technician. You gotta remind me of when that was. Go to your local fuel spot and talk to your local owner operators, see who they recommend. You got banned from DAT. How'd you do that? W2 at 100K in pension or independent carrier, which is better long term? That's kind of a trick question. W2 is going to be more stable at 100K. Independent carrier, that just depends on what you're doing, because it could be good or it could be bad. You know, let's say you get an independent carrier, motor carrier, and you just hauling this drive-in freight off DAT load board. It's probably not gonna be too good. You know, but let's just say you get a motor carrier, you find a shipper, and next thing you know, you hiring owner operators on, and you get 20% off of every truck. Well, then 100K is just a bunch of peanuts, and you could probably be doing, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, you know, it really just depends on what you're doing. But that all, like I said, it's all dependent on you because you're the owner. For me, for example, I just take last year, okay? Last year, well, no, no, 'cause I got women that watch this damn channel, so I don't want to talk about my numbers. We'll just say last year I did over 100K net take home. We'll just put it like that. In the oil field, you can call the mobile technician, hit it, and charge the arm and leg to help the machine for the computer diagnostics. Oh, wait a minute. Got a phone.